All right, so I didn't make a video throughout all last week because I've been busy with stuff, with schoolwork, just finishing up school and such, and my computer's been under. I don't. Well, it's this computer hasn't been acting the best, and that's me just being nice. But I'm not gonna explain nothing. But yeah, man, this was one of the weirdest trade. Well, I don't want to say weirdest. This is one of the most insane trade deadlines I've ever witnessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. So yesterday, obviously, we saw Luka's debut with the Lakers, and this past Saturday, we saw AD's debut with the Mavs. Unfortunately, AD got hurt, and AD's going to be out with a groin strain. And then obviously we saw Danny Gafford bump knees with one of the Sacramento players. Now he's out, and Lively's still hurt. So it's been very, very. It's not a great time to be a Dallas fan. So, but I want to focus on the other trades. You guys know where I stand with the Lakers Mavs deal. So let's start off with the De'Aaron Fox Zach LaVine swap. So that trade was a 3-team trade with the Kings, San Antonio, and Chicago. Zach so far, Zach made his debut last night, if I'm not mistaken. But let me go search up his stats because I know that I think he may have made his debut against the Trailblazers, but I'm not 100% sure. So bear with me on this. But I saw De'Aaron play with the Spurs, and he looks pretty good. Fox looks really, really good with the San Antonio Spurs thus far. Obviously, he's going to be a really big piece for Wemby, and I don't want to go full on Skip Bayless and say, oh, your honeymoon is over, or yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to go ahead and say that, but definitely the championship window for Wembanyama is open. Okay, he made his debut against Orlando. The last game he played as a Chicago Bull was against the Denver Nuggets, and they won 129-121. Okay, cool. Zach made his debut with the Sacramento Kings against Orlando, and needless to say, he looked pretty good, and I think Fox looked pretty good. Let me look at his counterpart, let me look at De'Aaron Fox, because right now I think the Spurs are 2-2 since they started the Fox Wemby era. So, but he played well. They both played well, and I think he will definitely be a clutch player that Wemby needs, because Chris is better. I think the interim head coach should move him off the bench. But obviously that's a win-win for both teams. I think the Spurs come out the ultimate winner because you have a point guard who hasn't even hit his prime, and now you're pairing him with a young star, rising star in Victor Wembanyama. Okay. Now let's look at the Jimmy Butler to the Warriors deal. So that one's also, I think that's also a 6-team deal, or a 3-4-team deal, because I know the Utah Jazz got involved. But yeah, man. So the Golden State Warriors trade for Jimmy Butler, which resulted in Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson going to Miami. I think Toronto. No. Toronto traded Davion Mitchell to Miami. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so it was Wiggs, Slow-Mo, and Dennis Schroeder. I think a couple first-round picks. And the Warriors actually gave Jimmy a max deal, too, which is insane considering, like, look, for me, if you guys allow me to, I guess give my 2 cents on it, I get it. You're giving Steph adequate help because Jimmy and Steph, they complement each other, sure, but it's just like, how are you going to pay a dude a super max extension, essentially? Jimmy's 35, but you didn't pay Clay because he's not the player he used to be. I don't know. That one was kind of strange to me. But I guess they saw something that, hey, maybe the team is not who they used to be. Now it's just like, with Jimmy on the team, they could retool and reshape their team. But even with that, it's just like, I don't know. Excuse me. That's definitely for me, it's very weird that they would give Jimmy an extension, but they wouldn't pay Clay his money. I don't know why. I don't know. If I'm Klay Thompson, I wouldn't be livid, but I would be scratching my head saying, how are you going to pay him, but you're not going to pay me? And Jimmy and I are the same age. I don't know, man. That's just me. So Brandon Ingram is going to be playing with the Toronto Raptors again. Like I alluded to, Davion Mitchell was in that trade. Um, the Raptors have a decent future. I mean, if they can keep Brandon Ingram, you have him and Scotty. Who else? Who else they have on that team? Grady. And then a few other key players I'm forgetting. I think they still have Boucher, if I'm not mistaken, but I think he'll be on his way out eventually. But the Raptors have a good future. I really don't have much else to say about the Raptors trading for Brandon Ingram. Even though I don't think trading Davion Mitchell is ideal, but Davion, he's a gritty defender, but the problem is he has so many holes in his offensive game. So I kind of get why Toronto traded him for Bi, but it's just like it's whatever. But I'm kind of interested to see where the Raptors go moving forward with Bi and Scotty and Grady as pretty much their main pieces. Especially if Bi chooses to stay. Okay, moving on to the Kyle Kuzma trade. So this one was kind of a gut punch if you're a Milwaukee fan because you traded essentially Giannis' best teammate. Obviously, that's no offense to Drew Holiday and what he did for Milwaukee. But Middleton, I don't know. It's definitely kind of weird. Like Kyle Kuzma, maybe I'm too biased against Kuzma because he really didn't do much for my Lakers outside of the 2020 bubble when we needed him to step up in the absence of AD. Excuse me again. When we needed him to step up in the absence of AD when he couldn't play against the Suns, he along with others on that roster at the time failed to perform. So maybe that's just my own bias from back then still speaking. And Kuzma has not been on a playoff team since then. That was the last time he's on a playoff team. Now that he's in Milwaukee, he's back on a team where he feels like he has a chance to contend, especially with Damian Giannis. But now I'm questioning, is Dame going to be the official new closer for the Bucks? Because throughout the years with Milton in a Bucks jersey from 2013 to 2025, he was the Bucks closer. We all know this because Milton hit big shots against Atlanta. He hit big shots against the Suns. He hit big shots against the Brooklyn Nets, albeit there was no James Harden or Kyrie Irving. I'm talking about the 2021 playoffs, if y'all were wondering. He hit big shots, I think, against Miami. Oh yeah, against Miami in 2021, and then of course he definitely hit a lot of big shots. First round against Boston in 2018. The same type of shots we saw him hit this last playoffs when he was facing the Indiana Pacers in the first round. Middleton was the clear closer for that team. The problem is in that series, and I didn't do a series recap because I was on a long ass hiatus. Giannis was their only full court player that could match Indiana's tempo, and because he wasn't there was only so much Middleton for Middleton to do. So I don't know, and I think because Middleton has been so injury prone all year long, and well, not even all year long, since he got injured in 2022, where the Bucks missed him against the Celtics, Middleton has been getting injuries piling up on him. So I get it. Kuzma's younger. He has something to prove. And if you can have him buy into a system, maybe it ends up panning out well for the Bucks, especially if they can go on to the NBA Finals. But as of right now, I'm kind of iffy about Kuzma being the replacement for Middleton or Dame being the closer for Middleton. But Kuzma can prove that he can score, and he can definitely prove that he can contribute to winning basketball like he did with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So, I don't know. Right? And I probably should have said this at the beginning. I'm not grading these trades by any means. I'm just giving you my own perspective on what I think of the trade and what I think of these trades and how it could work for their teams. So yeah, just bear with me on this. And again, I'm doing this in a podcast format. I'm literally switching up my format because I'm not trying to edit and such. I'm trying to make it as raw as possible. So, and keep it simple. It's not like my old YouTube videos where I just like had music in the background. So, but anyways, the next one is DeAndre Hunter to the Cavaliers. Now this one, I may make a video on the Cavaliers and talk about if they are legit that team to win it all. But I really like this move for the Cleveland Cavaliers because number one, DeAndre Hunter gives them a tall power forward to defend the guys like the KDs, the LeBrons, the Devin Bookers, or in the Eastern Conference, the Jason Tatums and Jaylen Browns of the world. DeAndre Hunter can defend, and he could create his own shot too. A lot of people do not understand what DeAndre Hunter was able to do. I remember making a video a few years ago when I was still doing the series recap. By the way, that's going to be returning. Season 3, a series recap, is going to be back in full swing. Don't y'all worry. I just didn't do it the last 2 years because I was on hiatus. But I remember DeAndre... Oh, I thought I heard something. I remember when DeAndre Hunter scored 35 points in that closeout game in Miami, and he was the reason why the Hawks were even in that game. If Trae Young shot a little better, who knows what would have happened? They would have won that game, and who knows, the dynamic of that series changes. But DeAndre Hunter, really good player, good 3-and-D guy, and he's a very capable scorer. He's like averaging 19 a game this year. And how did Hunter do in his debut? I'm gonna look it up right now on ESPN because I'm looking at everything else. I didn't look at BI or Kuz, which I probably should have, but that's okay. DeAndre Hunter scores 23 in his Cavaliers debut. Okay, that's good. So DeAndre Hunter, good supplementary scorer. He can definitely complement Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. So I'm not mad at this. As for the Hawks, I don't know. They did not. Trae is getting less. Is it just me, or is Trae getting less and less help as the years go on? Because I remember 2021, he had all those guys, and he had a Cam Reddish who was on the Lakers, and all of a sudden, what do the Atlanta Hawks look like right now? Because I know they got Georgie Niang and Karis LeVert. Karis is a pretty good player. But Georgie Niang, that dude is absolutely terrible. But anyways, Risa Shea, I don't know how to feel about him, whatever. But LeVert had 18 off the bench, which is pretty good. And they traded for they traded for Terrence Mann. I forgot to mention that. Let me okay, so overall, Hawks, Cavs won the trade, but I don't think the Hawks are that bad. But, the Hawks, I just feel like they're getting Trae's getting less and less help. But maybe I'm wrong, because Dyson Daniels is pretty good. Risa Shea, if you give him more minutes and opportunities, he could actually be decent. Again, I haven't followed the Atlanta Hawks too much, so take my words with a grain of salt. The Bogey Bogdanovic trade to the Clippers. Now, there's one I have followed. I have followed the Clippers, and I saw how they were doing this year. And the Clippers are actually not that bad of a team. But I don't know if I would want to trade arguably one of my better defenders for a guy who can score. When Bogey gets hot, those wires are hard to shut off. No disrespect to Bogdan. But I don't know. Because Terrence provides a lot of energy and defense, and arguably he's been one of the Clippers' better defenders throughout the Kawhi Leonard era, and just a good 3-and-D guy. But if you were to trade him and who else did they trade? Bones Highland to Atlanta for DeAndre Hunter, okay, I get it, that's fair, I like that, but you trade him for Bogdan, who's not great on defense, but he comes and goes on offense a lot, so. Again, I have no... actually, it could work for the Clippers if Bogdan can stay healthy, but I think that's another thing about it, too. Bogdan cannot stay healthy either. I mean, he's been having injuries. When was the last time Bogdan played? Bogdanovic. Okay, averaging 10 points this year. And then he hasn't been that efficient for the Clippers as well. I mean, for the Hawks as well. He's only averaging 10 points on 37% shooting. So, let's see how he. When was the last time he played? It could work though. Maybe it could work for them, but damn, he hasn't played since the 25th of January, and he only had 4 points. So yeah, he comes and goes a lot. And this season, obviously 10, 3, and 2. Not really ideal, but I guess it's better than nothing. Shooting 37% from the field, 30% from three. Still a good free throw shooter, so I guess it's not all that bad. But I don't know if I would want to trade Terrence Mann for Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's not a great defender, and he comes and goes on offense. And this is the least efficient he has been throughout his whole career. I mean, 37%. I don't know, man. But again, it could work for the Clippers if Ty Lue puts him in the right spot. And the same thing with Ben Simmons. And a quick take about the Ben Simmons signing with the Clippers. That man, he's a bum. Unless there's an off chance Ty Lue can get him right, but the problem is Simmons is way too far gone. So I don't know. It could work. He's a big body. Can play small ball five. He could work with Norman, and he could take some of the playmaking pressure off of James Harden. But I don't know. This is Ben Simmons we're talking about. I've made videos about him in the past, especially my infamous timeline about the Philadelphia 76ers and how much it was a big crap show. So I don't know. But yeah, these are just my raw, unedited thoughts about this whole trade deadline fiasco. Let me know if I missed any trades, or let me know what you guys think of the trades, and I may input more thoughts as soon as this video is uploaded in the description below. If there's anything I missed, y'all, let me know, because I feel like I'm leaving. There's a lot that I've left out. I'm just mainly looking at the Bleacher Report, or not Bleacher Report, the Clutch Points article about the trades that talked about like the major trades. But if you guys find something that I missed, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, that's the end of this video. I'm X. Deuces. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know why I'm changing my intro. Yeah. Expect more videos soon. Later.